All right, welcome to another video from the chart readers. Have not done FAANG in quite some time, so I thought it would be worth looking at these. You know, the markets are looking like they're starting to turn around, still need some confirmation, and really the way these, 5 stocks are doing could really be pretty indicative of how the markets are doing, right? These 5 are probably in all 3, if not at least 2 of the 3, right? The NASDAQ, the S&P 500, and the Dow Jones. So if these 5 are doing well, you can definitely expect those 3 markets to do well. If these are doing bad, again, vice versa. But before we get into all the details, we're going to do the same thing we always do, right? We're going to look at the daily and the weekly. We have our 5 moving averages. I have these horizontal and support lines. And then once we're done up there, we'll finish it off with the MACD and the RSI. Again, I like the RSI a little more than the MACD. I just want to make sure these two say the same thing because I like confirmation. So what's been happening with Meta? All right, I will say this is actually doing worse of all the 5. I rarely am here to kind of guess why. I just think all this like metaverse stuff that they're losing billions of dollars on and blah, blah, blah. We've all seen those headlines. I really think that's just killing the stock. But look, on the technicals, we do have a horizontal trading going on across these 3, right? That's a cluster right there. Clearly, it does not go up. It looked like it wanted to, actually. There were 2 days over the 50. Didn't go over that day, right? So I always say if you want confirmation, you got to at least close a penny over the day before. And then from there, we lose it and then just pretty much trading under the 8, right? Looked like there was an attempt to break the 20. Clearly it doesn't, but Friday was a good day. This just didn't seem to react great, right? That said, hey, look, if this can break, let's call it 135. Let me see exactly what it is. So the average 20 is 134 and change. So yeah, again, let's just call it 135. That's a pretty good trade right there to get to there, right? There's actually a lot of lines. I'm going to see if I can just, okay. Can I delete all doing that? All drawings for Meta. Boom. Okay, good. So we got rid of all those drawings. Great. I'm going to make some new lines here. Let me delete that one too. Just, it's all good. So I'll make some lines, make them fresh. We'll use this top guy right here because it was pretty noisy. Clearly we were able to catch the bounce on my original lines, right? I know I feel bad kind of getting rid of them, but this is definitely something I've been charting for a quick minute. So it gets a little noisy over time. And hey, it never hurts to just kind of refresh yourself, right? I'll use the weekly chart to make another one or 2 lines, but yeah, that looks like a pretty good distribution right there. So really overall, again, if this can get over the 20, again, that could definitely go up to the 50, right? That's kind of how these do work, but this definitely does not look good, right? Looking at the weekly, really, again, nothing spectacular on the weekly to say the least, right? Definitely all it's been doing is trading under the 8 for quite some time. If the weekly's bad, you know you're going to get a whole mess of bad days, right? And nothing but red candles on the weekly is horrible, right? And that just translates really to this. You see a couple blimps of green, but overall it does nothing. So Meta, not looking good, and definitely some better places to put your money across these 5 for some short-term moves. Amazon. Okay, so check out Amazon. This is actually what we like to see. Again, we do need confirmation, but we've seen a bit of it actually. So take a look. There was one attempt to break a 20, one attempt to break a 20, one attempt to break the 20, one attempt to break the 20. It looks like this might be the actual break of the 20. What I also like is we actually use the 8 as a bounce point. So on all of those, it goes up and then just can't use the 8 and trades under. Goes up, can't use the 8 and trades under. Goes up, uses the 8 to go back up. That's pretty important. That's what these lines are supposed to do. And that's at least telling me, hey, this line's getting a little bit stronger, which is good. You need a strong support line to stop a bounce, right? To stop a fall. So, excuse me about that. I wish that the RSI looked good. Like, that's a nice MACD reading. Definitely still a little negative. At least it's not negative 200. But I wish that is what this was showing. It's not quite sloped up, right? We're still kind of in this like very tight Definitely still looks like it's uptrending though, which is good, but nonetheless, it's still a little tight. And then what was this peak? Oh, around where we're sitting. So hey, if we get another good day, that could be good. Look, this isn't going to be easy to break, right? I always say when there's two this close, might be a little hard, but hey, if it could get over the red line, that's a pretty safe trade to the 200 right there, right? So keep that in mind. But hey, it's nice to see because look, technically on Thursday we were over the 20, and then this was a pretty good confirmation, right? So you could say that for sure. Nonetheless, I wouldn't be too excited just yet because that is a cluster forming. That's two lines and it's not easy to get over. But Amazon doing way better for sure. Oh, I love this. I did not see this actually. So, ooh, excuse me, hiccup. Sorry about that. We definitely close over on the 8 for Amazon. That's the first time on the weekly in a good amount of time. Again, we need confirmation, and that cluster of 2 probably lines up pretty well to this single 20, right? So we've seen stocks struggle with the 20, so the 20 you know is a good line. But yeah, if it could get over one more zoom, it could get over these 2, it'll probably get over the 20 on the weekly. Amazon though, way better than Meta. Apple, looking at Apple, again, kind of looking like Amazon, right? I love seeing this. We actually used the 8 as a bounce point, go up. We got 1 day at least, so we don't have 2 days like we do with Amazon, but 1 day over the 20. And again, look how long. We haven't been over it since, what is this? Yeah, early September, mid-August even, actually. So make 1 attempt, can't get over the 8. Make 2 attempts, can't get over the 8. Couldn't even get over the 8 here and fail. Make another attempt, actually bounce on the 8 and work our way. That's an even tighter cluster, right? All 3 are a little tighter. I will say if Apple can get over 156, that is some smooth trading up to 175. So I realize it sounds silly saying, hey, don't give up all this profit and just wait, but trust me, trading from here to here is much harder than from here to here. Okay, so that's my only advice when I say wait. Nonetheless, look, tomorrow is important because it'll be the confirmation of the 20. And again, Apple looking like Amazon, which both look good. Meta still looking like garbage. Netflix. Okay, I haven't made this video in a while, but if you use my last videos, you would have set some alerts for these gap fills, right? So we got a hard gap up, okay? This was, okay, so let me take a step back. You can tell my excitement, okay? Whenever a stock drops this far, that's called a gap down. Someone lost a lot of money here, okay? It really sucks, but eventually we want to try to make that money back when it fills the gap back up, okay? Definitely a fall, definitely just was trading under, definitely started to make a good move and wanted to maybe attempt the gap fill, right? Literally on the line. Couldn't do it, comes down, tries again, couldn't do it, comes down, tries again, couldn't do it, come down, tries again. I'm telling you, I've had an alert on this line for quite some time. I did not catch it. I'll be real honest with you because this was a pop on earnings. And me personally, I tried not to trade on earnings. Sometimes, honestly, I'm so focused on the technicals, I have no idea that the earnings are coming. And hey, knock on wood, I get a little lucky, or knock on wood, I've got at least enough profit to where even if it's bad earnings and it drops like 10, 15, hey, at least I was up already like 30-ish, give or take. And I can take that hit and still be in the green. Nonetheless, hey, I'm just being honest with you guys, right? I did not make that because that was an after hours gap. From there, look, we didn't get let me zoom in a little bit. We didn't get the confirmation I wanted, but in a lot of ways that was not bad, right? Because we actually held roughly 50% of the day before, right? Obviously, my confirmation's up here. This is, I would call, a healthy pullback, but still not enough for me to say, okay, let's put my money in because I think we're going to break it. Man, it did, right? Because again, Friday was a monster day. And look, we're over the 20, okay? We're over the 20. We have absolutely nothing in the way to basically run to 330, okay? I'm going to zoom back. I'm going to keep zooming back. There's definitely some history back here. Okay, so it's not like there's nothing, and that's why I do have a couple lines in between. But since, what is that, 2020, 2019, there is so much empty space right here that if this literally moves up, I would set an alert for 289.58. Okay, if this thing opens a penny more, trust me, I want to know and I want to be ready to make a move. So that's smooth sailing what looks like to at least this 330 line, right? That's where we'll hit basically these right here. From there, hey, again, we're over all of them, and it could be even better sailing, right? I'll probably make a couple new lines once I look at the weekly, but again, beautiful thing to see. Look at that. MACD is in the positive and doing what we like. Green going up, red staying down. This is doing what we like. Green going up, red staying below. That's a very healthy number, right? We start getting worried once we're around 80, and hey, it's actually been around 80 not that long ago, right? So trust me, there's still room for the daily to go up. Watch this one, set an alert. Netflix trying to make that gap fill happen right there, right? Let's look at the weekly real quick. What lines should be made? I can already see them. I hope you do too. We'll use that right there. And then there's another gap fill up here on the weekly, right? Oh man. Watch Netflix. Again, if it could break that, it's just Netflix can make some moves. It for sure can. And look, the weekly looks like it's doing well. The MACD looks like it wants to go up a little high for sure, but this thing's definitely hit 90 on the weekly not that long ago. So Netflix, man, keep an alert on this one. Last on the list is Google. Alphabet. Again, hey, check this out. Kind of looking like Apple and Amazon, right? Not quite as scrumptious, for lack of words, as Netflix, and not as bad as Meta. But again, tried to break the 20 and failed, tried to break the 20 and failed, tried to break the 20 and failed. Broke the 20 actually, but came back. And look, this one's funny, right? Because this one doesn't, I mean, look, it opened down here. It was ready to not bounce on the 8, okay? So this one, I don't give as much bounce on the 8 credit. Nonetheless, we're at least over the line, right? And we've been over at least the orange 20 for what looks like what is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. That's meaningful for sure. For me, I would really want to get over what looks like a 102.50, right? You know what? Let's even use the bottom of this one. What are you at? 102.60, whatever. Let's call it 103, okay? If we can get just open over 103, there's a good chance of running up to here. Not quite as good a run. What I personally would do, I would set an alert for 110.20, so you can see that's just over the 100 average moving line, the blue one. And if we can get over this blue one, that's some good trading up there to the 120 line, okay? So again, if you watch these videos, you know I'm looking for some sustainable, safe trading. It does well if you don't have the time to have your finger on the mouse all day. So an interesting view of FAANG. Overall, I would say better than worse. There's definitely one that's bad, one that's really good, and there are, 3 right in the middle, right? So not quite the definitive how's the market going to do answer I was looking for. But hey, I'll take more positive than negative, I guess, really, because the 3 are setting up to do well as long as they get the confirmation on Monday, right? So watch for Monday's action and hey, play accordingly. But we could be sitting worse, I'd say that much. Trade safely, and I hope you're learning. Look at Netflix one last time.